So, I wanted to play this little intro cutscene for you, seeing as you're new to the game. Creepy. Boom. Yeah, we're gonna have to make like a Discord or do like a Snapchat thing or something, because when everything goes down, I want to be able to still communicate. You're my like main audience. So I feel like we should set up some sort of community thing and seeing how it's just you and me right now. We could do a Discord or something at some point. But yeah, I love that intro cutscene. It's fucking badass. It sort of gives you like a little intro, you know what's going on. It's fucking cool. Okay. Now, I don't know. I think the birds that just fell from there are dead. Huh. I feel like we just saw the ragdoll fall. Oh, boys. Goodbye, boys. So, up here, we have ourselves a little ladder. We can see that it leads us to this walkway that appears to have a large boulder at the end of it. And we begin the little fight. Oh, it got us. It did tag us just a little bit. I was hoping to slick walk around the bottom, but it did not work out for us. Hmm. That was a little fireball. It was just a little fireball. Don't worry. Just testing our reflexes that apparently we don't have, and I mean me. When I'm saying we, I'm using the royal we, and I won't include you in my lack of coordination. Oh, I turned the AC on because it was a little warm, and I regret it because now it's way too cold. Oh, I turned it off. Hold on. Oh. Okay. We're going to stop staring at our pretty face here and get moving. But first I have to blow bubbles. It's bubble 30, I think. This. Oh shit, I see my little hood is hitting the microphone. Hold on. There we go. My little hoodie. So yeah, I love how this game does the cosmic horror thing. So many games recently have latched on to the sort of what Bloodborne did with the idea of Lovecraftian cosmic horror introduced into some sort of like a new medium in a video game. It's a really cool idea as long as you don't get into the fact that Lovecraft was just sort of a big ass racist. Like the cosmic horror idea is cool, but only if you look at it surface level, because like the whole concept of the other and like the monsters and all of that, it's actually because he was super racist and viewed like other races as inferior monsters. And it's like, you're a fucking douchebag, dude. But the tentacle stuff, the like monster, the like cosmic god stuff, I always thought that was cool. I always thought like the idea of a monster that's like in space and somehow is so powerful that it's sort of indifferent to you, and like it's benevolent based on the fact that it's just that much more powerful than us. Like there's this whole thing that H.P. Lovecraft talks about, right? It's in his books, and everybody in the modern day has latched onto it. It's the Cthulhu like mythos, right? And it's the idea that at the bottom of the ocean there's another ocean, and it's called the Absu. And inside the Absu, at the very bottom of it, is a city called the City of Riley, or it's pronounced some weird way, but I would say Riley. And in that city is like this giant octopus god that's just sort of like hanging out, and he's just taking a nap. And the whole thing about it is that, like, if it ever wakes up, then the world ends. And what was funny was that it was always just this story, right? But then these scientists were like looking around in South America on the ocean floor, just sort of like checking it out. And they found this cave system that was so big and expansive that they're like, this is an ocean underneath the ocean. And as soon as I've heard that, I'm like, oh fuck. They're gonna wake up Cthulhu. Holy fuck, he was right. They didn't. There's no Cthulhu in there, of course. But I just thought it was so cool. I'm like, this guy guessed that there was an ocean under the ocean, and he could not have possibly known that, racist or not. That's a cool idea, you know? And so I like that people sort of try to change whatever he meant by his stuff and just sort of take the cosmic horror and make it like some crazy badass shit that's not fucking weird. Because it's like this game is an example. It becomes really apparent that we're the monster really fast. You know, it's like it's a nice spin on it. Whereas the cosmic horror is always like, for H.P. Lovecraft, it was always like, I don't know, the journalist goes to some place where there's like fish people, and he's like, what the fuck's going on with the fish people? And like, I don't know, there's just the whole fish person thing and cosmic monster thing and all of that. I think it's really interesting. Really, the cosmic monster thing, the like idea that some of the monsters that we encounter here, not like the cleric beast and stuff, not the people that have become monsters, but the actual like entities. It says that they sort of like are not benevolent, but they sort of like listen to prayers. If you find one and commune with it and like it doesn't murder you, oftentimes they sort of help people out in weird, horrifying ways sometimes, but also sometimes they just sort of help. And so it's kind of cool to find like that it was the people the whole time that were fucking it up, and it's not necessarily, the monsters that are evil. And we really come to find more out about that. Like, it sounds like I'm spoiling a lot. I'm not. We find out so much about this whole situation with the werewolves and what happened in Old Yarnum and all of that shit. So we're gonna get out of this elevator and get that started. Okay, let's see. We have this is now that elevator that led up to our twin thick boys up there with the hammers and the cement block. And so this will lead us a straight shot back to the lantern up top and all of that, which is great. We're gonna need that right now, I think, because our next fight is Father Gascoigne, and he is a fucking asshole, and that is putting it so lightly. That is putting it so lightly. This fight will go one of two ways. It'll either go really well because I'm keeping my composure, or he's gonna wreck our shit, I'm gonna get angry, and he's gonna wreck our shit, and then eventually we'll win. But I think we might be okay. We'll find out, I guess, realistically. I want to see if we have enough to steal a level up point so we can get rid of our excess echoes, because if we're going to go fight a boss, I do not want to give him our echoes, because if we fail to defeat him the second time, we'll lose them forever. So I would rather spend them now while we have them. Than regret it.
Welcome. What is it you desire?
You know what I want.
Well, let me stand close. Now shut your eyes.
Yeah, let's get this to 15. We should start bumping everything up. We need to get our arcane to 15 and our skill to 10. Actually, you know what we're going to do is start getting our arcane up. We need to get our arcane to 10 or 15 and our skill up as quick as possible. Because the weapon that we're going to use requires a little bit of skill, a little bit of arcane, and a decent amount of strength to wield. And we want to use it as quickly as possible. If we can grind right now a little bit in this first level so that we can afford it, if we have it. I don't think we do. I think we need the Radiant Sword Hunter badge to get it. Or the Saw Hunter badge. I'm not sure. Let me grab something really quick, and I'll be right back. here we go. We're back. What did we name this guy? Is this Harville? Is this another Harville? I think it is. I think this is Harville non-Muppet. I think he's already proven far more effective than Harville actually was himself. Maybe not Harvey yet, but Harville. He's definitely surpassed him. In both cool hat and prowess as a hunter. But we have, what do we have? 2,100 echoes. That's weird. They have like little. Is that an ear hole on the back of his head, or is that like a different hole? Gross. You know, the anus on the back of their head. It's not weird to anybody. All right, it's fine. You know, the old skull anus. It's a thing apparently. At least it is for them. Maybe they're a different species. Maybe the Bath Messengers are their own little cosmic thing. We know the doll seems to like them. And one thing about the, what do you call it? The doll and the messengers and this dream and some of the more interesting cosmic entities that we come across, they all bleed white. It's like they're just full of jizz. Or like worms or something. I don't know. It's gross. They don't have a red blood. If we were to kill the doll, she would have no blood, no red blood. It would all be white, which is very strange because only certain cosmic gods and high-level cosmic entities seem to possess this white blood. And the blood is sort of reminiscent of almost like a nutrient gel. It's like a thick paste or whatever it is, and it seems to replace their blood. Certain things in particular. It's very strange, but it seems to have a connection somehow. Okay. What do we have? What are we gonna buy? I think we have everything we need from here right now. Oh, okay. It looks like we've unlocked the Kirk hammer with our saw, with our sword hunter badge. We have the repeating pistol and the Yarnum set also, which I think unlocked with that badge. And as we get badges, we'll unlock more items in our Bath Messengers and our Insight Messengers. What could we do with this money? Let's buy some blood vials. Just in case Gascoigne wrecks our shit, I want us to be prepared to go in. Now, another thing to note is as we level up, the bath messengers' prices will go up. Inflation's a thing. They're not always going to sell fire potions for 180 fucking echoes. They will get pricier, substantially pricier. And so it's a good idea for us to stock up on whatever it is that we need, sort of right now, in the beginning of the game. Which also gives us a chance to really get familiar with our saw cleaver and our combat for this next boss fight, this Gascoigne boss fight. We want to have about 4, at least, ish, Molotov cocktails, assuming that I can land them. Maybe we should get 6 so that I can miss twice, because apparently that's a thing. And we don't want to plan for failure, but we do want to plan for me. So we'll do that. Wow, this dude got fucked up. It literally ate his face. That is so gross. I wish I didn't look at that. My stomach was already feeling a little uneasy. Granted, there's so much blood in this game. Kinda just gotta look past it at a certain point. And say, you know what? We're doing the blood thing, we're bathing in it, we're going to coat our body in it, it's gonna be awesome. When it's really just a lot of blood. So, actually, you know what? We could do a couple of runs really quick. And maybe get an extra bit of blood vial. That would be nice. We could always use the echoes to buy vials if we don't get them off of the villagers. But they should start to drop some pretty quickly as we go through here. Grab those bullets on the way back. Sorry. Huh? Ooh. A piece of candy. Some blood vials. Just for us. Excuse me, sir. That seems unnecessary. Or we could just take the area down like that. It's so fun to be sneaky, but it is by no means the only way to go. Overwhelming force is always the best choice. I like to go about being sneaky because they give us that little back route to do so. They do that a lot, but overt combat often is the best way to go. Running in and wrecking everything with the cleaver and letting fate sort out the rest at the end is kind of policy. So, now that we've got up to this point, we want to sort of head back towards where Father Gascoigne is. He's at the end of those tunnels. I kind of want to do some more farming too, so I'm not quite sure if we're going to clear the level or if we're just going to head towards Father Gascoigne. Now that I'm sort of thinking about it, we can always use more blood vials, we can always use more echoes. So I think we have to keep the little killing marathon going. We'll just go fight our way to the sewers. And then from there, do what we need to do. Oops. With every pass through each area, we get much, much stronger. Also, we learn to place better attacks, get back sort of into the groove of where enemy hitboxes are going to be, where things exist at, in respect to where our cleaver's edge ends, where we're going to land when we fall, different stuff like that. It's kind of a good thing to get a feeling for. We would not survive this fall even with a plummet or a drop stab, whatever you want to call it. The drop chop. Sometimes these guys drop antidote, so it's always a good idea to check. Some blood vials. We could go mess with the corpse party over here. Oh, you guys have such a long reach. Just all gangly limbs and shit. I don't know who's alive and who's dead. There. Is everybody dead? Are you guys good? Are you at peace? Oh, sweet. Another Bolt Hunter's Mark and an extra vial. And we can use all the little bits of vials we can collect along the way. Alright, guy. Damn it. now we see what truly lies at the end of the tunnel. What horror awaits all those that were to fucking hang out in the sewers too long. A giant fucking pig. And we're gonna shove our hand right up its butthole. That's how you kill it. That's the secret. You gotta go for the anus. It's not actually the secret, but it works equally as well. Visceral attack from the butthole. Gross. So we'll get the Saw Hunter badge. Some blood vials from the pig. And then what else? What else? Some cold blood too. Alright, so we've got we've got that done. Our hands are coated in pig rectum, so that's always good. It's good or not, it happened. It happened. It did happen. We did take the sewer route, so we'll take this ladder. We'll take a minute to look at the scenery. Look at our beautiful face. Look at us. We're beautiful. We have 3,000 echoes. It looks like that fireball got all of the enemies there because they weren't triggered by us, so they didn't get out of place. So it wiped them all out. Now up here we have a couple of werewolves. We can run up, get a visceral on this first one, get away from the second one, get a charge attack, smash him to the ground. We can actually kill him before he does any damage, now that our weapon is a little stronger. Making short work of these guys. Now, the game right there is giving us 2 bold hunter's marks. That was on the corpse that was just in the environment. So you'll always get those there. And it's literally telling you, turn back. Twice. So you know, if you feel like turning back again for some reason later on, you could turn back again. And the hint in reasons why is directly in front of us. We had Father Gascoigne to help us with the cleric beast. And he died. And unfortunately, dying in this world has some dire, dire consequences. Oh, shit. Samantha, are you with me? This is about to get rowdy. This is the first serious boss fight. The cleric beast is just sort of like a joke boss fight. It's sort of a boss fight. It's not really a boss fight. Most people have zero trouble with it. The first roadblock to Bloodborne in playing the whole game is the dickhead that we summoned to help us with the cleric beast, Father Gascoigne. Oh, that's cool. Look at how we can align our hat. That's pretty badass. Pixel perfect. Between. Anyway. It's about to get crazy. My fan is fucking making me cold. I'm looking for any reason that could fuck this up. Besides me. Okay. Okay, we are good. Let's go fight a motherfucking werewolf. So here we find Father Gascoigne himself mutilating some bodies, you know, as one is wont to do on the night of the hunt. Instead of, you know, killing beasts, he's just rending the same bodies over and over. That's good, right? That's a good sign.
Beasts all over the shop.
Yeah.
You'll be one of them. Sooner or later.
And he sort of flashes his fangs at us. Hey. Boss fight. Boss fight. Boom.
What's that smell? The sweet blood. Oh, it seems to me it's enough to make a man sick. Shit. 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 Oh. Oh. We got him. And we got the tomb key. Holy shit. And we're dead. Holy fuck. We got the prey slaughtered message, which means he's dead dead. It means when we go back for our echoes, our tasty, tasty blood echoes, we will actually be able to get them back. Oh. Okay. That's what's up. Wow. Oh, that gave me an adrenaline rush, and now my back hurts a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Ow. And also, ow.
I can't believe we did it. I can't believe we beat Father Gascoigne. We died, but we still won. We still collected his echoes. We still got the key. I bet. I wonder if we have to light the lantern there. I bet we do. Let's go down and find out real quick sort of what's going on. And I did that. Hey, don't burn me. Don't do it. Now that we've killed Father Gascoigne, despite having none of his stuff currently, let's talk to Gilbert.
Not a place you'd know, not much of a job.
So, he's talking about having to go through where the pig lives to get to where Father Gascoigne is. And we're going to want to take a second and sort of clear this little area out, because we're going to have to come back through here right now for a very specific reason. Gentlemen? Whoa, 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 calm down. Calm down. Look at that, I slapped him so hard he didn't even want it. He's like, nope, I'm out. I'm out. He's like, that was too much. That hurt so bad. We're leaving. And then he left. What kind of rice? White rice, brown rice, fried rice. This quinoa, caddis rice, whatever the fuck quinoa is. You're like, no, I did not have a bowl of quinoa. Come on, it's so good. Good? Is it good? I think I've only had it with fish. Rice. So, we'll head down our little elevator here. Oh, that's so awesome. Rice and fish, excellent. Fucking excellent. I am shaking a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not, but I am just a little bit of quiver from that fight. The adrenaline got me when he turned into the beast. Sometimes you can get him to not go full rage mode as the beast, but he went, literally, it's because normally the first time you see him, he's gonna kill you. And because I'd been visceral attacking him over and over, the game was like, fuck you, noob, you're going down. And so it unleashed full, like, level 5 beast Gascoigne on us. Like, no restrictions on its AI. Full aggression. It was like, kill this bitch. But we didn't die. We don't die, though. But did you die? Did you die? No. Turns out, no, we didn't. Gentlemen, please, you don't want to do this. I hear your feet. Back away. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, that was terrifying. That was like an Indiana Jones moment right there. We rolled as the ball flew over our heads and killed everyone around us. It's fine.
I'm fine, guys. Don't worry. I know you were just trying to help me out over there on top of the stairs, guarding our echoes. You know, it's fine. It's not like I need all those echoes to level up and live. We'll just, you know, we could survive on 798 echoes. Yeah, fucking right. How are we going to do that? How are we going to survive on just basic stuff? Psst. What are you guys doing up there? Ow! Ow! You weren't supposed to do that. You made me bleed my own blood. Look at it, it's all over the stairs. Ah! Oh! You're not very nice. Whoa, whoa, buddy, calm down. Just take a breath. Here, do you like music? He doesn't like music! Okay, it's fine. I mean, I understand. Not a big music fan. Not a music lover. Not a fan. This other guy's like, fuck this. He's playing with the corpse. I'm out of here. I don't have time for this shit. I gotta hold a shield at the top of the staircase, I think. Ow. That time he got us. No! Bad Wolf. Bad Wolf, man. We need our echoes. Don't you understand? So, Father Gascoigne is in fact dead. We did do it. The prey slaughtered message and the absorption of his souls, his echoes, was a really big indicator that he was going to stay dead to me. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you can come back and you have to fight the boss again. And it didn't count it. But if you see that message, it pretty much counted. Because we died at the exact same time. The game's like, alright, dude. He got a cheap shot on you, maybe. Either way. It gave us the win. Well, I guess it didn't really give us the win. It still killed us. But at least it didn't, like, negate our echoes or, you know, be like, he absorbed them, but he also died. So now they're just gone. Because I could also see the game doing some bullshit like that. He also gave us the key. But if we're keen in our observations, we can see that there was a fucking attack here. Some shit went down right here. Looks like it went down a lot. Looks like it went down a lot. And this poor fallen woman. We find a fucking red jeweled brooch. And if you'll remember, that poor little girl said we had to find her mom. And we know her by the red jeweled brooch. So, we don't know if she died at the hand of Gascoigne. I think it might be fair to assume that she did. That in his bloodlust, he was killing everything down here. And that she went to go get him and didn't have the fucking music box. And then he killed her. And then in doing so, completely lost his mind. Which is why he was telling us, we'll be a beast soon, too. Because he doesn't just mean physically. He's not necessarily saying we will transform. But he's like, you know, I was a hunter, I got married, this and that. And then I ended up killing my wife, and now here I am hacking up corpses. You'll end up a beast, too. You know, he's like, I didn't think I was going to be. Yet we watched him shed the last of his humanity and transform into a feral beast. And we did him a service by putting him down. So now that we've cleared the entire first area, we have every item out of it that we could possibly want for the most part. We do need one more thing. We need a tiny old lady who asked us if we know anywhere safe to go. And we just might. We just might. So we'll open up the Odin tomb. And Odin, like Odin or Udin or whatever you want to call him, the Odin tomb, it is a god in Bloodborne. He is a cosmic god, and he is formless, so he doesn't actually exist, only his voice. So weird. He also gets somebody pregnant, also weird, considering that he's just a voice. I kind of wonder how anybody could, like, how does the, no, how does the voice, no, how does that work? The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably, which I feel like is a weird statement. It's not like it makes my head hurt. It makes it shudder uncontrollably, which is an odd statement. Here we find a chest. We'll pop that chest. We will get the Blood Gem Workshop tool. So now we can add blood gems freely to our weapons. Add and remove them. And now, here we are in Cathedral Ward. Where we find a strange man, woman, strange person.
Hmm? Oh, you must be a hunter.
I think it's a
Very
man.
sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does, always has, you know, since forever. But it won't end nicely, not this time. Even some folks hiding inside are going bad. Screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts, none of them's too uncommon now. Yarnum's done for, tell ya. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Erden Chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over, if you wouldn't mind. I know I shouldn't be asking you, but if you happen upon someone while hunting, tell them about this here Erden Chapel, if they seem worth being told, that is. Oh, and I do sincerely hope they are. I know I shouldn't be asking you, but...
And now we can go back for the little old lady who wanted sanctuary. We have some new enemies. These guys are sort of part of the next tier of church hierarchy, where we start getting into priests that also have choir magic and priests that wield projectile magic and things like that. They also have staves that hit really fucking hard. Like really hard. Like as hard as you think they hit, harder. Every time they hit me for the first time, I'm like, oh my fucking god. I think they two-shot us currently. If they were to hit us twice, we would die in 2 hits. And we're not going to confirm that. We're just going to move on. You hear me, Samantha? We're just going to move on. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I can't help but randomly personalize it. Hello, our sweet, sweet doll. How do you do? Now, we could give this red jeweled brooch back to that girl, right? Or we could read it. A woman's bright red brooch engraved with the name Viola. Perhaps the jewel is a gift from a hunter, used to change into a droplet blood gem that fortifies any weapon. With proper workshop tool, various weapons can be fortified. The mom died. She's dead, unfortunately. And now, so is Father Gascoigne. Which unfortunately means we have left that young girl in the house a fucking orphan, just like that. In trying to defeat a boss, we've orphaned a child. And stolen her music box. And her mom's red brooch, which I'm now going to break in half. I know how you're feeling. I know how you're feeling. I just punched it. I just punched it. Just punched it. I did that. It was me. I did it. Hi. Hello there. That's me, the guy that punched the gym. Let's see what Gurman thinks about it.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirits, seek a holy chalice, as every hunter before you has. A holy chalice will reveal the tomb of the gods, where hunters partake in communion.
It was really necessary. A, that was extremely important for me to say, and B, it was extremely important for our character to do. Hey, Samantha? Ah, okay. That's funny. We have 3 bloodstone shards, nowhere near enough to upgrade our weapon again, but it does have a slot in it, an empty hole to fill, so we have to. Blood Gem Fortification. Fortify weapons using blood gems. Blood gems imbue weapons with special characteristics. So we'll check out our saw cleaver. We'll look at our red blood gem. There it is. We'll add this. Oh. Alright. Alright. Fine. That's fair. That's fair.
Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods, and the few that found their way to the surface were lost again in the hands of men. But if the old hunter tales remain true, one of the holy chalices is worshipped in the valley hamlet. Yet the town is in disarray. It was burned and abandoned for fear of the scourge. Home now only to beasts. The perfect place for a hunter, wouldn't you say?
Oh. That's not creepy at all, Kerman.
One of the...
Okay. So we have 9 insight. We're gaining it pretty frequently. Now that we've finished off Gascoigne, we could buy his whole set if we wanted. It is pretty damn good. And we'll do this to show off the fact that when you spend a bunch of insight, as you can see, we have a meter up top that was just there for a second. That is our beasthood meter. And as we lose insight, our beasthood grows. So it's sort of just an example of what we were talking about earlier with the insight and frenzy and all of that. So if you, like as an example in this game, if you were going to go into an area where the enemies do a lot of frenzy damage, you would not want to have a bunch of insight. You would want to dump those points at pretty much any cost. And you could do that by summoning NPCs and like dying or spending them at the bath. There'll be a point, there'll be a point where the insight bath has just as many items to buy, just as often as the normal stuff. And at that point, I don't know, we'll be alright. We'll be alright. We'll be able to spend insight when we need to lower it so that we can go fight frenzied enemies and raise it when we're going to go fight beast enemies if we want to get crazy. But I usually keep it pretty low anyway. The frenzy damage is an added stress to the game that I feel like we don't need, because once it builds up and the frenzy meter reaches maximum, it pretty much kills you. It does an insane amount of damage. It's like quadruple damage out of nowhere. So if you're even a little hurt, it'll just kill you. If you're full health, you might survive if you have a lot of health. And a decent amount of frenzy resistance. But if you don't have any frenzy resistance, you're gonna die. You're gonna be dead. It's not gonna be good. So Gascoigne's set has a substantial amount more arcane resistance than our hunter hat. So we'll pop that one on. Same here. He loses blood tinge, but he gets so much more. So we'll pop that on. And when we're going to get shot at, maybe we'll change out of it. But we bought the complete set, realistically, because we want to look good in our sweet priest outfit. Let me cleanse your sins. Gross. So, a couple of things we've got to do before we leave the last of the beginning area behind us. Now that we have defeated Gascoigne, every time we defeat a boss, the way that it works is the night progresses forward. It gets later in the night as we defeat enemies, big enemies. And that becomes important later. Also, you can't thumbs down me, Samantha. You can't do it. It's not a thing. I say no. I veto your thumb. I think we had this talk about the thumb veto. I think it stands. Ha! So now, let's go see how Yusefka's doing. Now, if we get a little peek, we can see her face very easily, which is odd considering that we could not see her face anywhere before. But she's here. Also, weirdly enough, now she's holding a dagger. That's odd. She's got a whole fucking sword thing going on here. She didn't have a sword before. She's a doctor. Why do you have a sword, Yusefka? Did something happen?
Oh, well, hello.
Well, you sound different. Hi.
Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness.
Yeah?
You're soon off to hunt, I presume?
You know this.
If you find any survivors,
Uh-huh.
tell them to seek Yusefka's clinic.
Do what?
Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them.
Cure.
This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared.
Huh?
This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help.
Well, that's...
I'll even offer a reward for your cooperation. Tempted?
Slightly.
Well, off you go then. If you find anyone who's still human, send them straight to Yusefka's clinic. You can assure them there's no place safer. Please, do me this service.
So, we talked to Yusefka, and she sounds different. She's holding a sword, and now she has a completely different attitude about it. A, she doesn't remember us. She's been giving us blood and hanging out with us all night. She remembers, oh, thank God you're here. Thank God you're safe. And now she's like, who are you? You're going to hunt? It's like, we've been hunting. You know we've been hunting. Right? That ain't Yusefka. That bitch is someone else. She's all, send people here. Trust me. I'll pay you for it. It's like, that's creepy that you say it that way. Well, she certainly doesn't seem nice about it. Double thumb? Oh. Sammy. Huh. Yeah, no, that's appropriate. No thumbs though. No, no, no. I vetoed the doubles. You can't send 3. You don't have 3 hands. Doesn't count. The third one's a positive. 2 negatives make a positive. So you mean thumbs up? Cool. Cool, 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 cool. We still can't get through this gate. It's gonna be locked. Oh, look at that. The sun is going down, though. The sun is going down. Oh, shit. Psst. Hey, crazy guy. Ow. Did you see that the sun is going down? I'd like my health back. Oh, damn it. We missed out. I was distracted by thumbs. We're gonna blame it on that. It really got me all twisted up inside. No? Okay, I'll shut up. Ow, 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 stop. Why? Why do they hit? Why do they hurt? Why do they hate while they hit and hurt? Ah. What? What? What are you wowing? What? What is it? What happened? Who did what? Where? To the what now? Huh? What happened? Molotov cocktails. Yes. Not a good time to do that. Not a good time to be not looking here. Okay. 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 I just had to give him a couple punches. Just to, you know. Just to emphasize that that's not what was going to happen. The death that he wanted, no. We say no. And then we punch him. Guess what? They're all dead. I did it. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. And there is a reason why Father Gascoigne is usually so difficult. And it's because he has that axe in his hunter form. He's aggressive with his gun. It does pretty good damage, especially if a lot of the pellets hit you. And then, on top of that, he's got the axe, the hunter's axe. And it is very strong. But there is a thing that's happening. Where somehow blood-drunk hunters have been disappearing on the streets of Yharnam for the past, like, 20 years or something. However long, however many cycles. Just steadily but surely, everybody knows that if you become blood drunk and you're a hunter, there's a really good chance that something's just going to pick you up and take you to somewhere. You're just going to go somewhere. You're just going to go to a farm. They just disappear and they never come back and nobody knows shit. So, Father Gascoigne was covering his eyes up because he did not want anybody to know that he was blood drunk. He was paranoid. He was worried that somebody was going to see his eyes, his dilated, collapsing pupils, and that they were going to call the guard on him. Or something worse. Knowing this game, probably something worse, right? Probably. Hello. No, but I'm wearing your dead dad's clothes.
Okay, I can wait.
Okay.
Isn't there something I can do? Maybe Mum and Dad are stuck out there, waiting for me to come and find
I
them.
mean,
What do you think, Mr. Hunter?
I mean, I guess we know this place you could go. Samantha, I'm gonna level with you. This isn't gonna end well. This is gonna end sadly in one of two ways. Well, I guess three ways, but more likely one of two ways. The third is very, very sad. I'm not being toxic. This is gonna end sadly. I'm saying this right here. We're gonna tell her of Odin Chapel, of Yosefka's clinic, or we're gonna withhold information. Do you want what horrific fate do you want this poor child to meet now that we're stuck talking to her? We can tell her to go to Yosefka's clinic, where the psychopath with the sword's waiting, like, go ahead, send people to me, but I'll pay you. And we could probably get paid for it. I mean, we could send her to Odin Chapel, where the little dude in the red shawl's hanging out. I mean, he said he doesn't seem creepy at all, right? I'm sure that's not going to end badly for her with that guy. Or we could tell her nothing, and she'll just sit here until something happens. These are all options for us. Tell her nothing. Look at you. Don't be toxic. You're cold. You're a cold, cold lady. Okay?
I can wait. I won't be afraid. I know. I do. The morning always comes.
Alright. Final answer. We will leave her to whatever may come. Aw. I did not feel good about that. But it is kind of funny how they flop over.
I've heard I have. Shutting up indoors isn't always enough. Well, if you once had got off your arse, you wouldn't be in this mess. You're obligated to help me, you hear?
I do hear you.
What you be? Are you going to tell me you're not?
And, Master of all fates, what do we do with this one? You're the cosmic god, or goddess as the case may be. What do we do with her? She's a little grumpy, but she has had a dog trying to kill her all night. Do we take mercy on her and send her? I'll tell you that Odin Chapel is indeed safe. Yosefka's clinic is indeed death. Peaceful death, but death. Well, not really death, but more of a transformation. But it's peaceful, probably. Unless it isn't. But withholding information also leads to death, but it leads to death where they're by themselves and usually become some sort of like a werewolf or something. What? It's not a spoiler. Trust me. Dude. What? I want you to help with decisions. It's stream engagement. How about that?
Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do? Go flip some boats. Get this mess done with.
Hey, you in there?
I've had enough with you. Trot along. Trot, trot.
Well, I never. I don't think Eileen has anything new to say to us. But to be fair, I don't remember. Eileen! I should have picked the clinic. You could have picked anything.
What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt.
So it appears she does not have anything to say to us right now about anything, really. Which, I mean, that's fine. We don't really need to go back through all of the sewers and such and stuff. We do have 10,000 echoes. And we are collecting bold hunter's marks like they're going out of style. So we're gonna crack one like a fresh beer. I don't really drink that much beer. Did you hear supposedly Corona stopped making beer? I think that's hilarious. They're like, alright guys, we get it. We'll pack it in for a little while. It's like, what? I don't know if it's because people were sick and couldn't work in the factory, or if they were just like, hey, it's too close. Yeah, right. Who do you sue? You have to sue the original scientists that classified the family of viruses as the corona family or whatever. Like the common cold's a coronavirus, and other things are classified as coronaviruses. So you'd have to go after people that did like classifications, and I don't know if you can sue them. They're like, we don't really do that. You can't really sue us because we're just naming stuff and things. They're like, but copyright. They're like, yeah, but viruses. Because there's like, you gotta think. Corona, right, is not just the name of a beer. It's a shape. It's a geometric shape or an event of some sort. I'm not sure, but I know a corona, a coronal injection from a star is like a specific shape that the star is ejecting matter in, like to sort of form a corona. I think it might just be sort of like the tail of a comet. I'm not sure if that's a corona, if that counts. But it could have to do with the shape of the virus, is my point. There might be some sort of a similarity to the geometric shape of it all. It somehow is corona. Yeah, nerd. Nerd! Ugh. Okay. Oh, look at that. The doll's gone. Well, looks like we can't level up. The doll went out for a night on the town. She went to treat herself. She's like, fuck this dopey ass graveyard. I'm fucking gone. She's like, I'm a doll. And I'm anatomically correct, unfortunately, and also full of white stuff. Gross. But to be fair, we don't know how old she is. Gurman could have been using her for centuries. I know it's gross, but the fact remains if we hit her with a weapon, she would bleed white blood. And you want to explain why the mannequin sex doll has white blood? Because that's kind of gross and only has one explanation that makes any sense to anyone. She's got jizz blood, right? The milk of human kindness? No? Do I need to shut up now? Am I getting a thumbs down? And are you unsubscribing? Don't do it. Stay. That's fine. So she's here. She's here praying at this specific gravestone. And we ran up on her and like we caught her. She's like, huh? I wasn't doing anything. I don't pray. I'm just a doll.
Welcome home, good hunter.
I saw you, Maria.
What is it you desire?
Why would I say what? That she's a sex doll? Because he said we could use the doll if we please. If it pleases us. And he's all, you could even use the doll if you like. Which means he definitely uses. There was zero reason? What do you mean? There's a complete reason to say that. It's hilarious and also
Farewell, good
factually
hunter.
accurate. If we hit her with a
May you
sword, she
find
bleeds
your
white.
worth in the
You
waking
explain
world.
it. There's blood everywhere. Why wouldn't they texture that red? You think they just forgot? No. No. It's something gross.
Welcome home, good
I'm
hunter.
gonna tell you something. Let me tell you
What is
something.
it you desire?
Let me tell you something, okay? Listen here, you. I didn't. You listen, and you'll understand why I'm already at that level. It's not as sinister a reason as you might think why I'm already on that level.
Very
Okay?
well. Let the echoes become your strength.
This game is inherently
Let me stand
grossly
close.
sexual,
Now shut your eyes.
and I'll tell you why. Do you want to know the secret? The secret that will taint your view of Bloodborne forever? This is Walt Disney's life story. No, I'm kidding. This is the real story of Oz. No, okay. Okay. You want me to
Farewell,
just
good hunter.
be the bean spiller? I'll
May
just,
you find
I'll spill them. I'll spill beans all over the ground. Look. Look. Look here, you. Listen to me. Look. Hey. Hey. You. You. First off, I bow to you. No. Second off, so let's go on down the little line here, shall we? So, we're going to start with this. That is a napkin full of blood. Okay. Okay. So what? Who cares? It's just blood. Sure. It sure is. It's just blood. But it's weird. You know, the blood. The blood stuff. Let's find an example here of what blood is. Bath messengers. Purchase item. Blood vial. Let's get a display on this. A special blood used in ministration. It restores HP. Once a patient has had their blood ministered, a unique but common treatment in Yarnum, successive infusions recall the first, and are all the more invigorating for it. No surprise that most Yarnumites are heavy users of blood. Okay. Okay. So, people use blood, right? It's a thing. It's well known. Oh, we don't have anything else, do we? It's well known. But I'm going to tell you right now, and we'll find out really soon. We have the Odin Chapel unlocked already. As we start to populate it with a couple of people, which means maybe 2 or 3 more boss fights, we will find out just what the fuck is happening with blood. And I'll get you on my side. I know you don't think I will. I know you'll be like, oh, this dude, he's just excessively gross. And yeah, well, duh, yeah, also yes, but there's a reason. I mean, I could just say it. The blood is menstrual blood. Boom. Mind blown. We're drinking period blood. It's a thing. You just need to accept it right now. You need to not squirm about it. I know I see you. Hey, Samantha. Samantha, I see you squirming. Stop it. It's true. The blood that we drink, I can never accept it. I'll prove it. I'll show you it with like real world terms. They confirm it in the game. only women can be blood healers. Only women can be the ones that give blood transfusions. And the reason for that is that only the blood can come from them. It's a cosmic horror thing. It has to do with, like, nothing, really. It has to do with nothing. I'm not going to justify it. There's no reason. It's disgusting. I fucking hate it. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I don't know why they did it. I can't justify it. I want to. I want to say it's this reason because of that, but there's no fucking reason, Samantha. They did it because they're gross. They did it because they're fucking gross. Which makes us gross, to be fair, for playing it. And drinking period blood. A bunch, Samantha, a bunch. We're going to drink a lot of it. Like, often. And I'm not happy about it. Do you see his face? There's a reason he has that face. Look at his face. He looks that way. He looks that sad. Because he's like, fuck. This is it, huh? He's like, I came here to deliver a pizza. And they shot me up with a bunch of crazy blood. And now... Gross. Just gross. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. You don't want to think about it. I know you don't. I know you're probably over there muting me. Don't mute me. Don't block me. Don't thumbs down me. I'm just giving you the truth. The hard truth of Bloodborne. That will make you go, well, that's fucking disgusting. Forever. We're just going to let it sink in for a second. Just going to let you deal with it. Everybody has to. You're going to deal with it, and you're going to see me kill an enemy and be like, I don't care. That was pretty cool. And you're going to shove it to the back of your mind, and we'll never talk about it again. I'll never bring it up. But when we get a bunch of chicks in the chapel, and they start giving us blood, and are like, oh, I can only do it every now and then, you're going to be like, oh, gross. And now you'll know. And now you know. And you can never not know, Samantha. You're welcome. Don't be sad. It's good to know the truth. The truth is hard, but it's also the truth and good and right. This too shall pass. You'll forget. Oh, don't say that. Don't worry, you'll get past this. You'll move on. You'll do so many things, Samantha. You'll do so many things. Before you remember that Bloodborne has period blood in it, you'll do several things a day, probably, before I remind you incessantly, in some form, that this is definitely what's happening in this game. I won't do it that often. I want to be friends, don't worry. I won't push you away with this info. I'm just having some fun with the fact that I got to introduce you to this game and then gross you out with it, beyond just the fact that we're covered in blood, which is also gross, but video game pretty cool. Until you realize what our Gatorade is. And then you, as you said, wish you didn't know those things. But now you do. And we can share the knowledge together. We can have it together. See, no one else is here. Otherwise, they would be sharing in that knowledge too. They would also be disgusted, Samantha. And maybe in the future they even will be, because these streams are getting views after the fact. Several. Not like a bunch, but tens of views. So soon, other people too will now know, forever. Forever, and if you want to fight me over it, you're welcome to, but you're wrong, and it's period blood, and I'll prove it in this playthrough before we log off. You fucking watch me do it. Gross but true. And I will never bring it up again, besides when I do, to point out that it's a true thing. But I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. We can see over there in the corner, we have our first guest, our first new resident in Odin Chapel, and that is the little old lady that was all upset with us and had the dog attacking her at her door. We managed to get her out of the house, and it looks like she successfully lived through that insane city and made her way all the way to the Cathedral Ward, where we have provided her with some sanctuary. Now, this did not go unnoticed, mind you. She did have to cross directly in front of our little chapel guard here. So we're going to go talk to him and see what he thinks of her before we go chat her up and see if she's okay.
Ah, the hunter. Thank you. So that old girl, you told her about this place, right?
Yes.
Well, she don't offer me much in the way of conversation, but still.
Yes.
I'd rather see her alive anyhow.
Yes. Forever disgusted. Hashtag disgust. Hashtag Samantha disgust. She is sickened. Samantha won't forgive you. Firekeeper. Does have an awfully familiar red cloak. Firekeepers used to wear red cloaks. The two games are not connected, except how they completely are connected to me. To me, the game runs from Demon Souls all the way to Bloodborne at the end, with Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 in the middle, respectively. And I can spend hours telling you why, but I'm not gonna, because it's super fucking boring to anybody that doesn't care.
If you find any sane survivors, well, send them along to Erdon Chapel, will you?
I will. I'll do that. You're awesome, buddy. Stay awesome. And so, one cool thing also about this game is you see how there's just 4 little guys around this lantern. Well, if there was, say, 100 people in this area, there would be 100 little guys all crowded around. These are all people that are waiting for either help or to be summoned. So if we were to ring one of the corresponding bells in this area, there's a really high chance of us getting another player to help us out. And these little guys tell us that in a really subtle way. They tell us the population of the current server that we're on for multiplayer, if that's something that matters to us. Right now it isn't. Right now I don't care. Right now we have 3 insight anyway, so we're stupid. We don't want to burn it up bringing human players that may well get killed in one shot by the first enemy they run across. So we're not going to worry about that. Interesting, interesting. This statue right here is a statue from Yahar Ghul. Yahar Ghul is a place that we will go, and we'll leave it at that for now. Let's go talk to this old lady. Hello.
Oh no, I haven't forgotten. Do you think I owe you something? Well, that's a fine lark, I'd say.
What?
This old mess that Yarnum's in, it's all your fault. You fidgety outsiders.
Wow. Fidgety?
Tainted by your ilk.
My ilk?
Don't you come near me.
Oh.
I know it.
Fine, I'll keep my distance. Social distance, I understand. You don't want to be touched. I get it. I get it. Here, look, I'll even put my weapons away. I'm not even threatening. This little old lady does not give blood. Don't worry. You have to be a blood minister to give blood. You have to be, it's called a blood saint, actually. And women are trained to be blood saints somehow. I think by being fed. So I think the deal is women consume the beast blood, and then their menstruation cycle produces the healing blood by somehow purifying the beast plague through their body and out the other end. I think that's the thing behind it. That's what, like,
You gotta remember, these are medieval people. Not medieval, but you know, this isn't modern times. They didn't know. And to be fair, it seems like things are a little different here. They drink blood like it's alcohol and get drunk off it, when that would just make you throw up. Humans can't imbibe blood more than a pint of it without involuntarily throwing up, which isn't probably a great feeling. Sure as fuck doesn't get you drunk, I'll tell you that. Let's see what else she has to say.
You. Stay away from me.
So she is not happy with us. She basically thinks we're the devil. And honestly, we really can't blame her for her suspicion of us, the way she treats us, because in her eyes, we showed up on the night everything is going to hell. Because as we've been finding out more and more, this happens. The hunt happens. Morning comes. The hunt breaks. But tonight seems to be different. Eileen, the crow hunter, on top of that ledge, told us so. She said, "You came here tonight of all nights," as if she's like, "Dude, you don't even fucking understand. The shit has hit the fan and you better be ready to hunt." That's why she says, "Why are you cowering in your boots? You better get out there." Because she's like, it's about to get so much worse. You better prepare yourself while you can on whatever you can find. And she knows. She too is a hunter. She is a special hunter, though. She's the hunter of hunters. Eileen is the bitch you call when one of us, when someone like me, gets blood drunk and starts killing innocent people. Eileen shows up and fixes the situation. She stops all blood drunk hunters. That is her job. That is her actual duty. She will respawn to do it. If you attack her in the game, she will fucking murder you. She wields the Blades of Mercy, which is a set of daggers that become a short sword. They're a dexterity or a skill-based weapon, and they're beautiful. They're phenomenally good. We'll get them from her at some point, hopefully voluntarily. If she tries anything crazy, though, we will take them from her by force. But it shouldn't come to that. Right, old lady? Right. Visceral attacks become more and more important as we get further into the game. Being able to counter enemies when they attack us, because as we saw there, we take a heck of a lot of damage now. In fact, not a heck, we take a whole tit full. An entire boob's worth. Now, if we watch right there, that fucking freaky shit that just happened, that is utterly horrifying to behold. We don't want anything to do with that. We don't want to know what it is. We don't want to know what it does. I wouldn't mind knowing if we could break it, but we definitely don't want to know right now, currently, what's going on with it. That is a giant fucking pilgrim. Howdy there, churchgoer. What are you up to? Just hanging out, being a dickhead? Nice. Do you know I'm here?
Have you seen me yet? No? Beautiful. Beautiful. Nothing happened. Oh shit. Oh shit. There it is. Ah. Oh, he's still alive. Woo. That was a big boy. That was a big boy. We could continue further on, except, guess what? Only a special emblem opens the main gate. And if we remember reading the hunter emblem description, the chief emblem that costs 10,000 fucking echoes, remember it said it opens the main gate to signify the end of the hunt. Right there is the lever. Wait, where's the lever? Over there. And if we had enough insight, we could see that there would be like a handful of little messengers all desperately clinging, holding that lever down so that this cannot be opened ever. We couldn't use magic to throw it open because they're holding it, even if we had magic, which we don't. So that is what goes that way. Now down this other way, we have some interesting fellows sort of just hanging out. Whoa, buddy, calm down. Hello, bird. No. No, you die. Telling us to die. Hey, stop it. Ow, stop it. Both of you. Quit your squawking. They're bad crows, Samantha. We have to tell them. And here we get the monocular. The monocular means that we can use our personal items or any item slot so that we can see things up close. Pretty self-explanatory. Not a hunter's tool, but a simple antique, to be used as one sees fit. And so, we can use it just to sort of zoom in and see stuff. It's pretty cool, actually. Some of these environments are really detailed. They put a lot of work into them, and I love the fact that they're like, look at all the cool work we did. It's fucking badass. If we were to take it to the edge over here, down there we would see the arena where we fought the cleric beast. So that means he was up here when he jumped down. Just something that's kind of cool. Like maybe he was sitting right here where this giant hole was, you know, and jumped off. I don't know.
Or an invisible meteor crash from the sky that we can't see. I like to think that he jumped off, though. It is the cathedral ward up here, so there would be clerics. So it's not crazy to assume that a cleric transformed and fucking was hanging out right there and saw us down there and just went for us. I think we actually missed the little thing. We sure did. There's a little creature that spawns in right here that will drop upgrade materials. We're finding a lot of upgrade materials, standard upgrade materials, really letting us know, hey, if you have not upgraded your weapon, you better fucking do it, because you're about to get murderfied. And so it's a really good signal for us to head back to the dream and do exactly that. We'll upgrade our weapon. This door right here is the same door that leads to the cleric beast fight. That is another reason that it's easy to believe that the cleric beast came from right here above us, because literally the cleric beast fight is right outside of this door. That door I said earlier, if we threw some coins in and went to it on the other side, they would be shining through. That's this door. We could test it out, but I don't want to waste the coins. Just trust me. That's the real question, Samantha. Can you believe me? We have ourselves our first tempering blood gemstone, which is not great. It's not bad either. It's a level 1. But it gives us a gem to put into our second slot on our weapon as soon as we unlock it. Well, I don't know why the fuck that thing just triggered. The giant hand trying to kill us just triggered again. Some more bloodstone shards, that's good. Yeah, right here, it just triggered. Sammy, I'm scared. I don't know why that event triggered. We weren't near it. This game's not super glitchy. It usually means there's another player nearby. But I sure as fuck don't see another player, and we didn't have any indicator that another player was here. It would have told us that a sinister woman rang a bell if another player was coming. And it'd be really hard for them to hide, as they'd be highlighted in bright red. So that's odd. Bad dog. Okay. Will not be burning. There might be a little bit of a foul beast. Let's see. Wow. Something fucked that guy up. That sucks for him. So right here we have a guy on top of some stairs. He's hanging out. And as we approach the stairs, there'll be a mini ambush. Now these dogs do an insane amount of damage. Just these two in particular, they just are devastating. The two of them, if they bite you at the same time, will one-shot you. I guess it's technically a two-shot, but they are so vicious I'm going to count it as a one. No, no. Stop it. May that be your last gurgle. May you gurgle in peace. So, this is the little doorway where we saw a guy get killed. I wonder what could have killed him. Honestly, I think he just got killed by the basic enemies out front because there's not really anything to worry about. There is this scrub underneath us. He's really excited to play, so we will oblige him. Hello, sir. Goodbye, sir. Wow. Some more madman's knowledge. We can always use more of that. And here we have our way forward. We actually have, I think, almost enough to just buy the Hunter's Emblem outright. And then we could go get our Rune Workshop tool right away. We could go and mess around, but the problem is, as we progress through the night, the enemies all get harder. So if you fight bosses in a certain order, the rest of them are going to get harder or may not be able to be fought after a certain point in the night. So it's sort of good to remember.
just sort of what you want to do, what you want out of the game. I think we are going to go ahead and go on down into Old Yarnum first and take the long way instead of spending the 10,000 on a Hunter's Emblem, because if we can get, I can't remember which badge it is, if it's the Radiant badge, I think it might be the Radiant Sword Hunter badge, we can get Ludwig's Holy Blade. But I think, I can't remember, we might have to kill, yeah, because the blood-starved beast where we're going, right, in Old Yarnum, gives us a chalice, which is cool and all for doing chalice dungeons. But if we want storyline progression, we have to go fight Amelia and the Witches of Hemlock. Both of which I would rather fight after we fight the blood-starved beast, because the blood-starved beast, as the night progresses, gets fucking insane. It's unnecessary. Its poison damage is through the roof. It's just a gibbering little asshole. And it is also the source of the beast scourge in Old Yarnum. As far as anybody knows, it was the blood that they used to cure the Yarnumites in Old Yarnum. Then it went feral, and then all hell broke loose. What are you gonna do? What? What do you want? I'll visceral attack you. I don't care. Bad werewolf. Oh, that was not what I wanted. I meant to hit X. Meant to, but didn't, so... There's nothing here, but it's important where we're going to start looking around, checking corners. There are coffins everywhere. We find antidote on a body telling us that, hey, there's probably going to be some fucking poison up ahead. Hey, hey, just telling you, you might find poison. But it won't be in this immediate area. It'll be up ahead. And oh boy, will we see it coming. This will not be invisible poison. Now that we have our lamp lit, we could honestly... Let's see. If we fight the Witches of Hemlock and the Blood-Starved Beast and Amelia, we'll have enough to get Ludwig's Holy Blade no matter what. No matter what order we do it all in. Let's go back to the dream and level up.
Just do it. Level 2 cold blood. Probably not worth it. Yeah, wasn't worth it. I don't believe we get the Holy Sword until the Radiant Sword Hunter badge. Right, we could buy the Kirk Hammer, but we're not gonna.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire?
Do you have anything new to tell us?
Over time, countless hunters have visited this dream. The graves here stand in their memory. It all seems so long ago now.
I feel like you've said that before.
Over time, it all seems... Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me stand close. Now shut your eyes.
So, if we get these two where they're at, we should be able to adjust them as we need in the future and not have to play with it too much. Now we can mess with the rest of our skills and feel comfortable with it. This will get up to 10 once this and this are up to like 15.
Farewell, good. May you find...
Ah, damn it. I tripped over the books. Huh? We can see how we're doing on our storage. Not great. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, I'm like, wow, we have just enough. Okay, there's our storage. So we have 4 Molotovs in storage, 105 bullets, 60 potions. So basically 3 full lives worth. If we were to burn all of our vials, die, burn all of our vials and die, we could do it 3 times, which is not much. Hopefully we would not have to do that. But I think I'm getting a little too tired to clear a whole nother area right now. We've gotten Father Gascoigne killed. I think we're going to be good for tomorrow. If we come back here, it's going to be tomorrow night. I think if we do Bloodborne as a steady thing, we'll do it at night and make it a little, the littlest bit creepy that we can. Huh. Yeah. Because it is very late where I'm at, and I need to get a little bit of rest for the morning. But we'll be back tomorrow it'll probably be a little bit later than first thing in the morning. It'll probably be around the afternoon that we get started, early afternoon. We'll see how it goes. We might get a little time earlier in the morning. It just depends. It just depends. But for now, I hope everybody has a good night, good morning if you're there. And I'll catch you next time. Love you guys. Bye.